Opinion on this from Dr. Mohammed Munir, Professor of Virology at Lancaster University in the UK. Thank you very much indeed for your time. So look, just in the last hour or so, the World Health Organization has tried to quell fears about this, saying that we're not in a pandemic situation. Because, of course, people will draw a line between this virus and coronavirus. But how different is it?
Well, certainly it is true that it's not going to cause as big pandemic as COVID-19 because of the inherent nature of the virus, the way it's spread. It's spread relatively difficult compared to, for example, coronaviruses, which are very easy to spread that cause the COVID-19. But having said that, our all information that's made the basis for the World Health Organization is on those knowledge and the information that we have gathered on previous strain of the hantaviruses. But we do know that viruses evolve, viruses change, and particularly in this situation, this is the first hantavirus outbreak on the water within the cruise ship. So there is a lot of stuff that needed to be unfolded before we are certain that this virus is not going to be a bigger problem. And one more complexity in the whole of this conversation is really that we don't yet know what is the original source of the infection, where actually the infection has come from, whether it has been people who were boarded at the first instance or it is within the ship and all those speculations. So until all those questions are not answered, I think it would be really underplaying if we are going to say that this is not going to be a problem.
Sure. I mean, the World Health Organization also said that more cases of this are definitely possible. Is that because of the incubation period, which can be some 6 weeks long?
Well, there are two reasons for this one. The first one is that it is now confirmed ND strain, which is already known to transmit from person to person. So there could possibly be already people infected in a close contact. But the second thing is that it has a very long incubation period that could be up to 2 months. So if the person is infected today, up until next 8 weeks or so, it can start showing clinical sign. So because of these two established reasons within the hantaviruses group, there are likelihood that this the cases for the hantavirus positive could start increasing. But again, I would like to re-emphasize onto the fact that since we don't know what is the original source of the infection, probably that original event that has happened that led to this outbreak is still happening somewhere where we don't know.
And just back to the original point about authorities not expecting a similar effect to what we had all those years ago during coronavirus, during COVID, but does it have a similar effect on people who do get infected, meaning that older people and those with respiratory problems are more susceptible?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, this virus, hantavirus, is a lot more pathogenic and a lot more problematic compared to coronavirus when it comes to impact onto the person who are confirmed positive. And also, I think at this moment, majority of the people who have been infected, they are closer to 60 years old, and therefore the impact on them has been more. And we do know that any person that crossed 50, 55 years old and has any comorbidity and other vulnerabilities, they are more likely to have the higher impact of the infection. So within this hantavirus family, one of the virus that has infected and caused outbreaks before, around 1/3 of the people have unfortunately died. So, and that is a complete contrast to coronavirus, where 1 in 1,000 people have died. So there's certainly much more impact of this virus than has been with the COVID-19.
And finally, Mohammed, contact tracing taking place in a number of countries, but how challenging is that going to be, given, as you mentioned, a number of people who'd come into contact with this potentially have already disembarked the ship?
I think the central dogma in the whole story is really the contact tracing. How quickly and effectively contact tracing can be done, much easier we would be having the handle on this outbreak. And this is, again, one of those complexes that where we have to, for example, in the UK, people who have arrived, they've been put on the self-isolation for 45 days, given the incubation period of this virus. So therefore, not only effective contact tracing for the people, those being disembarked or will be disembarked, but also effective contact tracing for those people who've been tested positive and have been within this ship, who have they contacted earlier before they came into the vessel and the ship. Those are also equally important.
Mohammed, thank you very much indeed. That was expert analysis, and I think you've put many of our fears at ease for some time, at least. Mohammed Munir there from Lancaster University in the UK. Thank you.